I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
And there we go. We are live and large and in charge and ready to dominate. Yeah, that sounds a bit aggressive. Dominate this Tuesday morning. Embrace. We're ready to embrace this Tuesday morning, and you as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We absolutely love to be in your company. We got you for 2 hours and we're going to savor every second of it. And we're going to savor the Christmas vibe this morning. Yes. Good morning. My name is Graham Richards. Welcome.
My name is Jamie Lee Docker.
And I'm Rahul. Good morning. Thank you once again, of course, you beautiful souls, for joining us this morning. What was the question you had? Festive season coming through?
17 days, guys. Can we just take a moment? 17 days before Christmas. Yep. Everything you can see, everything is inspired by Christmas this morning. Yeah. We're also asking on our social media, what is your favorite Christmas carol song to sing along to? In the morning, myself, the makeup artist, and Zoe, were just jamming to modern Christmas songs, just sing along.
Yeah.
Like when
your
you came
song
in,
kind of got us in the vibe yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I think they put their own spins. I'm a Michael Bublé kind of guy. We've got a big Michael Bublé, Elvis. That's our vibe in our household. Bit of swing, we dig it. You?
I'm old school, man. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
That's a lovely rendition.
Oh, wow.
That's lovely, man.
I can't get old school, but I love it.
It's absolutely beautiful, man. So what are you listening to? What gets you in the Christmas vibe? Maybe it's a little Boney M.
Oh,
Rum-pum-pum-pum, a little bit of a drummer boy.
Feliz Navidad.
Exactly, man. There are some classics, both modern and very classic, and we'd love to hear from you this morning. Another question I've got to ask you guys is, are you like Advent calendar kind of people? How do you get pumped for...
I realized early in my youth that I'm not an Advent calendar kind of guy. All of those days, one day I just chow it all. I can't resist. And yourself?
No, so I've got a 3-year-old boy in the household, so an Advent calendar is a good way to teach him, kind of allow between Naughty Elf and the Advent calendar, we're teaching all sorts of lessons with Christmas, but I've also got the Nespresso Advent calendar as well.
Do you?
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I know people.
Oh, must be nice. Must be nice.
But how do you get pumped? How do you get prepped for Christmas? And what are you listening to? Most importantly, let us know on all of our social media platforms. At Expresso Show is the handle to use. And I'm speaking to all 1 million of you social media followers of Expresso. We'd love to see how you get into the Christmas feels this morning. Help us get inspired for the next 17 days as we build towards Christmas. But we've got a lot to do on the official front as well. So let's get into our official duties this morning, get you set with all of the news headlines, a couple of sporting headlines that might surprise you. But Zoe's up first with the local news.
Thank you, Graham, and a very good morning to you. Let's start with your national news. The Eastern Cape Liquor Board has condemned liquor traders who are disregarding trading conditions and COVID-19 health protocols. The board says it has observed with serious concern that patrons that frequent liquor outlets completely disregard the COVID-19 health protocols. The board said it would conduct visits to liquor outlets to clamp down on those not complying with regulations. Nelson Mandela Bay Metro accounts for more than 50% of the country's most recent daily infections. And KwaZulu-Natal has vowed to intensify its campaigns to fight crime in general and to curb road carnage in the province this festive season. The MEC for Transport, Community Safety and Liaison, Becky Ntuli, yesterday officially launched the festive season integrated law enforcement safety plan and said measures are in place to ensure that drivers adhere to the rules of the road. He added that all relevant stakeholders must also come up with a common solution for controlling activities on beaches. We now move to news abroad, where the French President Emmanuel Macron yesterday said he will not make sales of weapons to Egypt conditional due to its human rights record. He said he didn't wish to weaken Egypt's capacity to fight terrorism in the Middle East. Macron was also speaking after talks with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who on a state visit to France. Human Rights Group issued a joint statement ahead of the visit saying Macron shouldn't indulge the Egyptian president, whom they accuse of heavy-handed crackdowns on dissent. Egypt accounts for over a quarter of France's military exports. And British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is heading to Brussels this week in an attempt to break a deadlock over a post-Brexit trade deal with the European Union. Johnson and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen agreed yesterday to meet in person to see whether they could find common ground on a post-Brexit trade deal. Significant differences remained on three key issues: fishing rights, fair competition rules, and the governance of future disputes. And next, watch out for this sport at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Not sure if the next item fits into the category of sport or entertainment news, but in both instances, it is good news. Breaking, a competitive form of breakdancing which blends artistry and athleticism, has been confirmed as part of the final lineup for the Paris 2024 Olympics. It will join surfing, skateboarding and climbing, which will be retained after debuts at the delayed Tokyo Games in 2021. However, parkour, the street sport that typically involves running, jumping and climbing over obstacles, missed out on inclusion. Games organizers said they wanted to include sports in the program which were popular with the new and younger audiences and would help achieve gender equality. They added that breaking blends artistry and athleticism, and competitors known as B-boys and B-girls will not only be judged on technical skill but also on creativity and style, with strength, speed, rhythm and agility all considered. Breaking at the 2024 Olympics in Paris promises to be sure to be a hit with the young and the old. Well, on that hip note, let's leave your news over there and let's take a first look at the real sport.
Thanks so much. So, unfortunately, not the best news to kickstart our Tuesday morning. England's tour of South Africa has been abandoned due to a number of positive COVID-19 cases. Now, Cricket South Africa and the England and Wales Cricket Board made the announcement in a joint statement yesterday. It added that the tour was called off to ensure the mental and physical health and welfare of all of the players. The cricket boards said they will look to reschedule the one-day international matches, which form part of the ICC Super League. Then, yes, Zoe, it is in fact a sports. I can confirm that in our Olympic Watch. The International Olympic Committee yesterday has indeed confirmed that breakdancing has officially been confirmed as part of the final lineup for the 2024 Olympics, of course taking place in Paris. It'll be referred to, as Zoe said, as breaking at the global showpiece. Skateboarding, sport climbing and surfing are a few of the other new sports included in the delayed 2021 Tokyo Olympics. And then this news might shock you, certainly if you're a boxing fan. The 5-weight division world champion Floyd Mayweather, one of the richest sportsmen alive, will return to the boxing ring for another exhibition bout, this time against YouTube sensation Logan Paul. The 43-year-old Mayweather last fought professionally in August of 2017 when he beat mixed martial arts champion Conor McGregor. The fight between Mayweather and Paul will take place in February next year. Payday for both of them. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Let's take another look at our weather. Gets our first take on some of your beautiful sunrise pictures with Zoe.
Regular Ntokozo Theo Makatini shared this sunrise picture with us this morning from Johannesburg. And in Joburg today, expect 15 degrees as your minimum and 23 degrees as your maximum. Another picture that came through from K. Tuli Kunwane shared this one from Richards Bay. Your low for today is 21 and your high 29 degrees. Thank you so much for those beautiful pictures, and please continue to share your sunrise photos with us so that we can share it on your Feel Good Breakfast show. But it's now time to also look at some serious news regarding weather in the KZN region. Disaster management teams in KwaZulu-Natal were yesterday placed on high alert, and this is due to severe weather conditions experienced in the province. The South African Weather Service has since also issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms over the eastern interior of the Northern Cape, the Free State, the western parts of KZN and the interior of Eastern Cape. Now, these thunderstorms are accompanied by strong winds, hail and heavy downpours. And warning, there is a warning spell out to please not seek any shelter under a tree, under a telephone or power line, and please avoid the outdoor activities as hail, strong winds and flooding may result in injuries. Also avoid low-lying roads and bridges as they are susceptible to flooding, and if possible, please remain indoors and away from windows, shelter your pets, cover your vehicles and disconnect electronic appliances. Well, on that heavy note, let's quickly look at your temperatures. If you are in Polokwane, your low for today is 18, your high 24. If you're in Mbombela, 17 with a high of 27. Partly cloudy conditions in Pretoria, 17 with a high of 25. Partly cloudy in Johannesburg with a high of 23. Mahikeng, 18 with a high of 27. Klerksdorp, 17 reaching a high of 28. Donderweer word voorspel in Kimberley met 'n minimum van 17, 'n maksimum van 25. Bloemfontein 13 met 'n maximum van 23. If you're in Richards Bay, partly cloudy conditions with a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg 19 reaching a high of 32. If you're in Durban, a low of 21, a high of 28 for today. Mthatha, 17, reaching a high of 32. Thunder showers can be expected in East London with a high of 28. Cradock, 16, reaching a high of 30. Wet conditions in Port Elizabeth, 18 with a high of 25. George, 17 with a high of 25. Cape Town, partly cloudy with a low of 16, a high of 24. Partly cloudy conditions in Worcester with a high of 32. Sutherland, 9, reaching a high of 28, and a 40% chance of thunder showers in Uppington with a low of 19 and a high of 33 degrees Celsius. Well, on that note, that's where we leave your weather this morning. We'll have another update at 7 o'clock.
Thank you so much, Zoe. You wonder why I'm smiling from ear to ear? Because a good old friend of the show has stopped by to say hello, to bring that Christmas cheer. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Jesse Clegg! Oh, look at that smile. I've missed that face, man. We have missed him on the show. So privileged to have him here in the person. And of course, I've got to treat him to a good coffee to kickstart his day because it's an early start on our show. And I think there are two kinds of coffee lovers out there. Those who drink coffee before they exercise for that little bit of a boost, and those who drink coffee after they've exercised to kind of pick them back up again. I think I'm both, probably a before and after exercise kind of guy. So maybe we should have a third category. But this is why this morning I'm making the Isperazione Frenze Arpeggio, which is a high-intensity coffee, a nice caffeine kick to start our day, and a great one you can have before your coffee. Jesse, brother?
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be back.
I know we're going to have a chat and catch up on this crazy year. I know in your world, this has been a really difficult year. So good to see you out there and performing. But I'm going to make you a coffee, and I'm going to make you a strong espresso to help you get through the morning, man.
Let's do it.
So how have you fared in this insane year of ours, man?
It's been an adjustment. I've just been writing a lot in studio and working on new music. Obviously doing a lot less live performances, but doing a few online things and just trying to be constructive and creative as much as I can, you know.
How have you found going into that digital space? Was it something comfortable? How are you performing to no audience? Do you have like your dog and your cat there in the room with you? How do you cope with that, man?
It's definitely not as good as a live audience.
You, my friend.
Thank you, man. But you know, it's nice to see that people are still wanting to connect, and I think that music has a role to play right now. You know, like people are feeling, you know, it's been a challenging time, and people are feeling disconnected from each other. And music has such a beautiful ability to just reconnect everyone to themselves and to their loved ones and to their friends. So I think that as a musician, like, you know, I kind of feel that we've got a role to play, you know. So that's been an interesting observation. Even though we're not allowed to play live music, even over the online vibe, you can still feel there's such a positive energy, and people really want that, you know.
I've found I've made different choices. So I'll buy tickets and I'll support artists out of a sense of duty now. I kind of feel like that's what we've got to do. But your first job this morning, my friend, is having a taste.
Okay.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers,
Welcome
man.
back,
Thank
man.
you. This is much needed at this time in the morning.
Taking that aroma, it's got quite a high intensity level.
Yeah, beautiful.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah, really
That'll
good.
get you going, man. A little bit of taste of Italy in our mugs, man. So hopefully that has inspired you for the workout ahead. Jesse Clegg is sticking around. He's going to perform undoubtedly. I'm interested to know if he's written any happy songs this year or if everything has been kind of dark and morose.
No, I have, man. Actually, my new song, Speed of Light, is about, it's about life having the most surprising moments, and sometimes those moments are incredible. You know, even in the darkest times, like there's just life still holds some unexpected surprises. You know,
there is a silver lining, and he's our silver lining this morning. So you want to stick around? Performances from Jesse Clegg on the way. We'll chat a little bit more to this incredible artist, and in a moment we're going to kickstart your day with a workout with the man. Ryle is getting warmed up as we speak.
We chose some of the world's rarest local coffee crafts and refined them to create 5 distinct new tastes. After all, we are the choices we make.
Are you ready to stand a chance to win 100% goodness prizes with Crush, such as Nutri-Bullets, Veggie Bullets, Tefal kitchen appliances, bar fridges, skincare products, fitness products, and vouchers? 100% you are. 100% goodness winners will be announced daily on Expresso from Monday to Friday from September through December. To enter, buy Crush promo packs. See the back of the label to scratch, and if you find a unique code, dial the USSD number on the pack to stand a chance to win immediate prizes or go into the grand prize draw. If you do not find a unique code, keep buying Crush to find the hidden codes. Crush is 100% fruity, fresh, tasty, and refreshing.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
welcome back, of course, at your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we're about to shake and we're about to bake, of course. And now, what a great cup of coffee we had earlier before the break, of course, with Jessie and G, making us all froth, of course, and get us excited for this workout. And I'm absolutely pumped right now, and I'm ready to get it going. So we know that stretching, of course, is important for any athlete, and important because they perform it as part of both of their warm-ups as well as cool-down sessions to avoid injury and keep our muscles healthy, right? So from improving your circulation to increasing your range of motion and keeping muscles flexible, strong, and healthy. Stretching is highly recommended before any workout, of course, too. Now, make sure to join us this join us this morning for this full body stretch, and I know you're absolutely going to love it. And I'm joined by the beautiful, illustrious Zoe B.
I always love your intros. Thank you.
You're only deserving of it.
I am so guilty of never ever stretching after a workout, and I'm looking forward to this.
But Zoe, I think we all are guilty because we're all so keen to pump it and get those endorphins going, but we never want to do the work to recover. Yeah, I'm done, I'm out of here. Stretching's for all people, but it's for everybody, and it's so important, especially for youngsters, to give that longevity. Right, so what we're going to do today is something a little bit different, and there's something important that I need to tell everybody at home. When it comes to stretching, you get dynamic stretching and you get static stretching. Okay. So before workout, dynamic stretching is really good. That's a type of stretching that involves movement. Static stretching is when you have a hold for at least 30 seconds.
Okay.
And that's something you do after your workout, right? Why we do it after the workout is because the static holds actually weaken the muscle, so it promotes a little bit more injury, all right?
Okay.
Now that we got that out the way,
you just said promotes a bit more injury. Is that what we want?
No, we don't want that, and that's why we're staying away from the static stretching. Only doing dynamic this morning.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start from the bottom up and do a full body workout, and this one's really simple. So we're going to start with the calves, having your foot dorsiflexed, which means having your toe pointing towards the sky. Your calf is stretched out. You're going to have your lower back nice and neutral, sticking that glute back, and you're going to go for a nice deep scoop, and you should feel that little stretch down there in the calf.
I definitely am feeling it.
Nice. So now we don't want to go too slow with this, so we're going to make it dynamic once again. So we're going to walk it out, all right? So left to right every single time, go for a scoop, keeping that lower back nice and straight. You guys at home, neutral spine, and almost closing the door behind you if you would, and that's the kind of mechanic that you'd have for your glutes at the back there. You feeling that stretch in the calf?
I am, and I see what you mean with a bit more movement. You don't have to be too slow, and this is part of the warm-up.
Exactly, and each pulse creates more warmth, which means an increased range in our motion. So you'll notice you go deeper and deeper after every rep. So you guys at home that are joining us right now, exactly the same thing. Okay, we're going to move over to the hamstrings now. All right, that's the back of the quad, hamstrings over here. Often a muscle that goes for sprinters, soccer players, and anybody doing fast-paced work. So
I've heard of people pulling their hammies, and I
don't wish that on anyone, Zoe. I've torn each hamstring at least 3 times, so I don't wish that pain on anyone. All right, so starting with your knee nice and 90 degree, and you've got a dorsiflex foot, you're going to kick it back behind you now and try to create a straight line with your leg and your upper body, and you'll feel both the stretch in that that hamstring, as well as your calf and your foot needing to stabilize. I don't know if you're feeling that at all.
Yes.
So you're needing to also stabilize and use your core at the same time, right? Alternate to the other side. So you're going from 90 degrees, kicking back, reaching out as far as you can, kicking that leg out. The higher and further back you kick the leg, the more stretch you're going to get on that glute, and of course that hamstring, and then you're kind of just repeating that movement. So with dynamic stretching, you don't have to worry too much about your reps, but what you can focus on is getting a time of movement in. So at least 45 seconds, and then a 15-second cool off before we move over to the next movement. So we've done the calves, we've done the hammies, we're moving up to the glutes, all right, the buttocks. So what we're going to do is called a figure 4 squat, and again, it's dynamic, but it gives that range of motion. So you're going to place your leg above your knee, and that's the knee that's holding your stability, and once again, the core comes into play here. So try balance if you can at home as well.
And it looks like the figure 4.
Yeah, exactly, that's all right. So the figure 4 comes into a little squat, go back as far as you can. Now make sure your knee doesn't go over your toe, and you're reaching back with that glute. Beautiful form, Zoe. Now let's go straight back up, and then we can repeat that on the other side. You feeling that stretch?
I am. You feel it really nice in the glutes.
So runners are going to love this because that glute is something that gets so stiff, and it always causes issues with the rest of the body, and as well as the lower back too. So we're benefiting from lower back relief and lower leg relief as well, just by stretching this glute out. Let's try one more on each side, just to show everybody at home. And you'll notice the more and more you do this within that 45 seconds, you'll see a massive increase in your range of motion. Ooh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready. Let's work on the hips now. So what we're going to do, we're going to crawl down now into basic lunge position. And what you're going to do is get that right leg forward by just a little bit of a jump. And then you're going to rotate the same arm that is next to the bent leg, up and above you. So you're gonna have a bit of a twist in the spine there now, working upper body. Once you get your hand back on the ground, switch over to the other side. Yeah, there we go. That's the dynamic part of this workout. And while we're working the lower back, the upper body, and stretching out that chest as well, we are also working the hips. Okay. So the quad's getting a good stretch, the hips and the insertion points are also getting a good stretch as well. And when you follow your hand with your head, you're also getting a nice twist of that thoracic spine and the neck as well. How are you feeling over there?
I'm loving this stretch.
I know, it gets you in such a zen zone. I find if you ever have any potential stress coming in your day, this type of a workout, this type of a warm-up is not only good for exercise, but it's a warm-up to get you ready for the day. So everybody at home, you can use this in your arsenal of skills, your bag of tricks, and your tools to grow and succeed when it comes to your fitness journey. And as you can see from Zoe and I, massive smiles on our face because we're ready to tackle a day. Let's get on with it.
Okay.
Let's carry on with it.
We are back in the kitchen. He thought he was coming out to sing. He was wrong. Jesse Clegg is with us all morning, so we're going to have a little bit of fun and we're going to put him to work. We're going to make a delicious, fresh and very festive iced tea inspired by you guys at home. We're getting all into the festive spirit, which means friends, family, lots of food and a beautiful glass of refreshing iced tea to celebrate. Why? Because it's summer in South Africa. That's how we do Christmas. So today we're going to show you how to make a healthy and a very festive cherry iced tea to inspire you to make your own recipe at home. And we'd love to see your creation. So remember to please share them with us using that hashtag made by you for a chance of winning 5,000 Rand. Is that not cool? Joining me in the kitchen, of course, Jesse Clegg. Great to have you here. Thank you, buddy.
Sweet, man.
I think you're going to do this well. I think you're going to handle this with aplomb.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a simple job to do and you're going to smash it, man.
I can't wait.
Are you, now that I've applied you with coffee already, are you an iced tea kind of a guy as well?
Yeah, I can drink a bit of iced tea, you know, just at this time of the morning, I'll try anything.
Yeah, we'll let it chill and then we'll serve it for afternoon, maybe after a bit of tennis on a hot summer's day. But I got to say, obviously, the key ingredient here, Fresh Pack Rooibos, really is the #1 Rooibos tea. Contains 100% pure Rooibos, which is very, very special, naturally caffeine-free and naturally preservative-free as well. In fact, it's safe to give to your children. I love that. And of course, we have been inspired by you guys at home. And I've got to say, a very big thank you to Kashifa Ibrahim, who sent us through an amazing secret homemade iced tea recipe picture. And if you can see that. And then Jeanette Rass sent us this blueberry and mint cooler. You guys have been getting so creative. Well done. Maybe one of you is going to win that 5,000 Rand. But let's get cracking. So I'm going to ask you first to start the steeping process.
Okay.
So we've got some cinnamon sticks there. We've got like the whole full-on cinnamon bark. Okay, so you can pop that into our boiling water.
All right.
Because this is a festive vibe, and I think the cinnamon. Then we've got some star anise. Okay. I actually at first thought it was cloves, but it's not. And then we've got some brown sugar.
You're doing all of this?
Yeah, just bang it in there, man. So we've, and then, nice, you went kind of sugar bay. I like nice elevation, man. And then three of the Fresh Pack Rooibos. We've got about 2.5, almost 3 cups of water in there. So, but you can do it to taste. If you want it stronger, you can do it. You want to bring it to the boil, let all of those flavors infuse. And then what I'm going to do is I've got some cherries here, and this is going to go in once our cooled tea has come out of the fridge. I'm just going to muddle these up a little bit, and that'll go in just to add that extra festive flavor. And you can imagine the spices. Whoa, this is quite a dramatic food source. So just watch for spraying cherry, but that looks good. So that'll go into our finished product. And then, how cool is this, dude?
Yeah, that's...
Can you see my ice?
Festive ice. Festive ice.
So you might have a question. Do you have any questions about my ice?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just why, really?
Because we can, buddy, because it's cool. It is, in fact, edible glitter, okay? So here's a trick that Nicole gave me beforehand, is because glitter, and if you've ever tried to make a snow globe with your child, which I have, and get really frustrated with the scientific process of trying to get the glitter not to all float to the top. This is a good way of dealing with it. How cool does that look, man?
It is pretty.
Hey, that's beautiful, man. So you do it in layers. So this might be a 2-day process. You're going to put a little bit of water in, maybe about halfway, just a touch of our gold glitter. Okay, that looks beautiful, and I'll save the rest for you're going to pop that into the freezer, freeze it, bring it out, fill up the rest of the water, and And there we go. Check how beautiful that
Crazy.
looks, man. And that's, yeah, I know, it's insane. Did you ever think that you would wake up at 4 in the morning and come and make glitter ice?
I didn't.
He had no idea. I got to ask, man, if you were going to enter this competition and get creative, are you creative in the kitchen, and what would you do?
Not really.
Not really.
I'm not a crazy chef, I must say. I mean, I can make a mean omelette.
Really?
So, not right now, but...
Dude, we have a regular omelette challenge.
Okay, well, I'm there.
Well, you're gonna be different, okay? You're gonna be creative, and when you post your pictures of your tea creation using your fresh pack rooibos, you're gonna do something truly special. Okay, so let's combine and make our, and this you can get creative and do it however you want. I always look at the this ice for me is the win. That looks absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put some of our cherries in there as well. Man, these are beautiful cherries, man. Top it up with a little bit of our, now the iced tea is, and check that color, it's all infused, it looks rich and beautiful. And then...
Glitter fest.
And check the glitter coming off the top, and then I'm going to add just a few more ice blocks just because it's so cool. So imagine on a hot summer's day, I reckon this is nice because we always struggle, you know, we're so hot and you want to kind of go festive, but like, you know, hot meals and everything on Christmas in South Africa's context is a little bit too much. This looks absolutely beautiful.
That is glamorous.
Well done, bud. Your steeping was amazing.
I've been practicing.
No, I know, I can tell. So the best recipes always, #made by you guys. And we want you to please share those homemade iced tea recipes using any fresh pack product on our Expresso Facebook or our Twitter competition post. You can find it there easily. Stand the chance then of winning 5,000 Rand. Talk about a nice Christmas present. Make sure you include a picture and of course use that #made by you and @Expresso Show. And the competition closes Tuesday the 15th of December, but you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Buddy, that is yours.
Cheers, man.
Some glitter explosion. Have a little taste.
All right.
And?
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Well done.
You were really honest about that as well. I was worried for a second there, but there it is, man. That's our cherry.
Yeah, it's actually good. Cheers.
Enjoy delicious homemade iced tea this summer. Simply add fresh lime, berries, and honey to ice cold Fresh Pack rooibos tea. See on pack for more recipes. Fresh Pack, goodness comes naturally.
Only you can make my day.
Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Taste, taste, taste.
Wait, where's that pack gone, man? I've lost that pack. Where did I put that pack?
Where's your thingy?
Is the pack there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is this one? It was there in your pocket. Cool. You take music first, please?
Wait, I haven't got them in yet. Just hang on. One, two. I'm only getting one side. 1 2. Only getting on the one side. Check. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I need a bit more vocals, please. Whoa, that's the wrong channel. Okay.
Petrified, trying to play it cool.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, have a happy birthday. Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh wow, you are still living your best life here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. It is that time of the day when we wish you, our viewers, a very happy birthday. And guess what? If it is your birthday today, you share it with none other than our very own Nicki Minaj. She turned 38 years old today. If you don't know her, she is a female rapper whose 2010 debut album Pink Friday went 4 times platinum and had 7 singles reach the Billboard's Hot 100. At the same time, the girl has been slaying. She's also one of the wealthiest female rappers in the world. Nicki recently gave birth to a baby boy. We don't see the face yet, but we hope to get to see him soon. Congratulations once again, and happy birthday to you. She sings, boy, you got my heartbeat running away.
Wait, high on that pitch, I couldn't even join you, man.
It is the milk that I drank before the ad break.
All right, well, it's time to celebrate for the rest of you beautiful souls out there watching right now. When we're starting off with Bukamuso. My name is Bukamuso, and a happy birthday to myself. And let's see what he's got for us.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. My name is Bukamuso. I'm 10 years old.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that is it. Self-love
Yes.
on your birthday, singing for yourself. It doesn't get better than that.
And
I love it.
glowing. You can see that Vaseline. But that's lekker, man. Lekker.
Absolutely love it. Now, Joe and Keta are also celebrating this morning. My name is Tobila Mnyaka. I would love to wish my dad, Mnyaka, that's Joe Mnyaka, and my sister, Keta, a happy birthday. Let's check it out.
Wish my dad a happy birthday and my sister Kit a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sis Keta. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Just singing along. We're going to keep it flowing. This one is for Connor. It says, we would like to send this dedication to our son, Connor. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Connor. Happy birthday to Connor. Happy birthday to Connor. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hip. Hooray! We would like to wish Connor on his 16th birthday a very happy birthday to him from his mom and myself, his dad, and his sister Hannah. A happy 16th birthday, and may God bless him many more years to come. Hip,
Happy
hip.
birthday, Connor. Happy 16th birthday.
Connor's just like, family, like,
To chill, be cool. I wanted to be cool on my birthday.
This one is for Faith. It says, this is to my daughter-in-law. Happy birthday, Faith.
Birthday to Faith. Happy birthday to Faith. Happy birthday to Faith. Happy birthday to you. May you have an awesome day. Enjoy it, and may God bless you many, many more years.
Wow, it's going to be a spectacular birthday.
It's going to be amazing.
I absolutely love that one. I think she was wishing someone in the stilter there.
I know.
You want to wake?
Okay, probably in the next room.
We've got 2 more coming up now. We've got Bab Mbuyisa celebrating, and it's a happy birthday to my daddy, Bab Mbuyisa. And let's check this one out.
Good morning, Expresso. My name is Tato Mbuyisa. I would like to wish my daddy a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Daddy. I love you. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Expresso.
Manchester United t-shirt. Love that. Love
I
that.
don't know about that, but his
Go
birthday
ahead.
wish was good nonetheless.
And then we have the last one, Caden Mesane. It says, wishing our baby boy, Caden, a very happy 4th birthday. You are truly a treasure to all of us and have brought so much joy and happiness to our lives. May God bless you on this special day and always. Mommy and Daddy loves you unconditionally, always and forever. And of course, if you'd like to send us a video on WhatsApp, do so by sending it to 071 640 6551 so you can wish your loved ones a happy birthday live on the show. But from all of us here at Expresso, happy birthday to you.
Well, we are here with Jessie Clegg and we're just laughing.
Yeah, nice menu.
Yeah.
No, there was some beautiful birthday messages. Thank you so much for that. And it's got us in the right kind of mood to welcome back one of our favorite artists. I think like so many South African artists, the multi-award winning and platinum selling artist, Jessie Clegg, could not wait to get back on the road to perform across the country. And with the lockdown restrictions easing just a little bit, Jessie has announced his upcoming Speed of Light tour and released a brand new single to boot. And the musician is here to, first of all, catch up with us, and cook and make tea and coffee and a little bit of everything, but most importantly to reconnect, because we've missed you, man, and I know it's been a very difficult year, so it's so good to have you here in the flesh, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I know, it's great to be back.
And it's also nice that life is starting to go a little bit back to normal. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's great, man. You know, I played a few shows in Joburg, first shows since February, so it was quite a long stretch without shows, and just performing again and feeling that connection with the audience and just feeling the energy of connection that we've all kind of missed, you know, from lockdown. It was so inspiring. I felt like people were in such good spirits, you know, and I think music has such an awesome role to play in just inspiring people, you know. So it's amazing, and I'm looking forward to these shows, these upcoming shows. I'm going to be down in Western Cape as well. I've got Hermanus at Wildekranz Wine Estate and a whole bunch of shows coming up. So it's going to be awesome.
And you've got a brand new single to boot, which is amazing. Talk us through Speed of Light. What inspired it? You touched on the meaning behind it. What started that creative process for you?
The song was actually recorded in Los Angeles, and it was. I had a whole recording session planned for the sort of March period, and then I had to come home immediately after we finished that song.
So sorry, man.
So the travel ban just kicked in, and luckily I had finished recording it, and then we did the mix and the master kind of, digitally, like with Zoom and stuff. But it just felt like a song that had some relevance to right now, because it's really about someone going through a difficult moment and then stumbles into this inspiring, surprising experience, and it kind of rejuvenates them. So I don't know, I just felt like we're all going through a bit of a challenging time, and it's just important to remember that there's always life always has some inspiring surprises, you know.
And it's always great to like collaborate with, other artists and also people from the industry. So when you were in Los Angeles, what was that process like for you?
I'm basically writing and recording my whole next album there. So every day I'm working with different producers in different studios, and I love being out of my comfort zone. I love kind of challenging myself and putting myself into different situations. And so much of songwriting and music is collaborative, and you have different chemistries with different people and different ways of working. And I just find that kind of experience hugely inspiring for me as a writer. It's been awesome, man. I love working in LA, and I love working in South Africa as well. I just wanted to shake things up and try something a bit different for the new album.
How important is that for a South African artist who wants to, in this digital era, conquer the globe? Because that's what we want. We want you to go global, and to have that international influence in the songwriting and the production process.
I think it helps. It's good to have a different perspective on your music. When I go to LA, I don't have the same kind of people don't know my history. They don't have any attachment to my old stuff or what I'm doing now. They're just hearing it completely objectively, especially producers.
Yeah.
So it also makes you up your game, because you can't rest on your laurels and kind of just say, well, I've done this and I've done that. You kind of just, everyone's equal when you.
But I'm a legend in South Africa. Come on.
Yeah. So it's great, man. It feels like it feels like I'm having to prove myself again, and I'm back on that kind of treadmill, and working those muscles. So for me, I think it just has made me a better musician.
I love it. Well, we cannot wait to hear that track. Speed of Light is on the way, and of course Jessie is going to be performing it especially for you. It's a private performance just in your home. Don't stray too far.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. And we've just sprayed some hand sanitizer in studio. I feel I might just cough. But you know what? What Santa always says is ho, ho, ho. There we go. Well, Christmas, it is definitely in the air. And those happy little moments with thoughtful gifts are sure to bring a smile to our loved ones' faces. And a face that I love to see all the time. It is Knox Mafu. She is in studio this morning on this beautiful Tuesday to tell us all of the must-haves when it comes to beauty gifts that every woman deserves. Now, Knox, yes. I know that there are a lot of significant others that don't know what to buy, that special lady in their life. I feel like we are helping them out right now.
And here is the crash course that you know you didn't know you needed, but it's here. So I think there's so many exciting little tidbits, you know, Zoe. So it's really hard to pick, but I think there are a few that we can make do.
What are some of the key ones?
The key ones. Okay, so last week we did a brilliant kind of gold look with your makeup, with the glow palette, which I think is such a lovely accessory to have. Really the great, nice base colors over here that can really work with any skin tone, with a really nice high pigment here for any kind of glow and shine that you need. And then, of course, to look good is to also smell good. And I love the Heart Light Sincera. This is my favorite scent. But what
May I get a spritz?
Of course you can. And the reason I like this is good. It's got warm, romantic tones with kind of like a rose base.
Oh, and it's soft.
Very soft, very feminine. But what I love is that there's this new travel size kit. So really great for gifting ideas and people who are on the move, and also great for the budget that we have. And then, of course, Simply Floral Vanilla Body Souffle. Now, this is packed with vitamin E, a really great treat for your self-care Sunday type effect, but a really nice gift. And I love the rose gold effect. And of course, you can pair that with the hand and nail cream, which you can also find, which is great for your cuticles.
And it's so necessary now. I don't know about you, but every time you go into a store, you hand sanitize and it just dries out your hands.
Exactly, it dries out. So this is such a lovely, nifty thing to have in your makeup bag. And of course, we've got the great primers, the lipsticks, and really just great bases for your makeup bag.
Well, listen, you definitely cannot go wrong by heading over to Woolworths and getting your special lady any of these beautiful things. And what I love is also the packaging. It is so stunning. Now, earlier you handed me this blindfold.
Yes.
I believe we're about to play a game.
We're about to play a game. I want to call this game Guess the Gift. So if you can find your way around
this
that.
It's like Santa's belt.
I know, right? So we've taken Santa's belt and I want you to put it over your eyes. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you about 10 seconds and I'm going to be handing you gifts, seeing that we've sanitized now, and you need to tell me what do you think it is, and if you get it right, you get to keep it.
I get to keep it?
You get to keep it.
I'm queen of regifting, just by the way.
Okay,
I love regifting. I always find that there are some things that a friend of mine would enjoy more.
Exactly. So we're going to kick off with our first one, and here we go. Hands open. Boom. What is that?
Oh, this is the beautiful fragrance.
Okay, it's the Heart Light fragrance.
That's the one.
Yes, that's the one. You're right. You get to keep it. And next up we have...
It smells amazing. This is the souffle vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay, perfect. I love that.
Beautiful packaging.
Exactly. All right. And now let us see if you
This is like the easiest game in the world.
I know, right? I actually made it a bit too easy. This is so lame.
Okay, it's not lame because I get to keep the product. This is that gorgeous glow palette.
The gorgeous glow palette.
With the 3 stunning shades.
Exactly. And if you wanted to switch it up, now this one is not for you. There's also then the eyeshadow palette, which you can also pair with that. So we all get to win in this one. And I'm going to give you one
more to guess.
Okay, this one we didn't go through. Let's see if you get it right.
Okay, this feels like a mascara.
Oh, nice. That is the W Beauty 3-in-1 mascara.
Oh, my God.
Great accessory to have. So you've just earned yourself 1, 2, 3 gifts for your family. 4.
Okay, well, those are for 4 friends of mine, just by the way.
Amazing.
This is stunning. Okay, I'm very surprised that I managed to get this.
Well done. Well done.
Well, Knox, I am loving all of these ideas and gifting ideas that you gave me this morning. So thank you very much. And I really, really hope it helped you at home too, because it is time to also create happy little moments for one lucky viewer, and guess what? They have won themselves a 500 Rand Woolies voucher. So let's say congratulations to Eddie Choke from Limpopo. We hope that you are going to enjoy the shopping. That's amazing.
Congrats.
I think we need the whole studio to just clap.
Just to be like,
for
whoa.
$500 goes a long way. Now, you too can stand a chance to win 500 Rand, and that is a voucher from Woolies. So simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso's Facebook or Twitter page and tell us this. What's on your beauty and self-care Christmas wish list? It's very easy, straightforward. And remember to also include those hashtags. It's Woolies Christmas, and that competition will close today at 9 a.m. So you have just over 2 hours to get those entries in, and T's and C's can be found on our website. That is expressoshow.com.
It's of course absolute beauty going down there with the ladies. Thank you very much. And now myself and a good friend of mine are going to be taking you through something that is definitely going to assist you and help you when it comes to this festive season. Now, I know when I was a kid back home and leading up to Christmas, you'd always see your parents and the family stressing away in the kitchen, trying to prepare all the meals and everything that they can. And it truly is a nostalgic moment that I, for one, have never forgotten. So what we're going to do this morning is take you through something special that is going to assist you with eliminating all the stress that you need, or the stress that you go through the day, of course. And Chef Clem and I are going to be preparing.
Why am I not illustrious? Why does everyone get illustrious?
Because your name alone carries the weight of them all. I don't need to throw in those nonsense adjectives. Chef Clem.
Oh, so it's nonsense. It's nonsense. He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it.
Digging a grave here, and speaking of graves,
gravy. Okay.
So what's happening, man? Like I said earlier, I know this is that moment, and I think this is something everyone stresses about, because you got the chicken and everything, and there's like, oh, we don't have sauce, we don't have.
Yeah.
So this is like the glue of Christmas. It brings all the magic together.
It is, and it's almost like I want to say a good gravy will save any mistakes that you make with a chicken that's gone too dry, a turkey that's gone too dry, a piece of meat that doesn't have enough flavor. A good gravy will save you.
Yes.
So let's talk about what we're actually doing. We're going to do this completely from scratch. So we're actually browning off. We're throwing tongs everywhere. We're browning off some chicken wings. And chicken wings are really great because they've got the bone in the middle. Everybody knows when you cook on the bone, that's added flavor. And it's got all that fat on the outside and there's extra flavor on the fat. And that lean meat is slightly dark as well. And darker meat tends to be tastier meat.
I love how you start the segment and just pull out a perfect chicken wing.
Did I?
Bam! There you go. Golden, crispy, brown, all the things you need in life. You don't even need a gravy.
All the things you need in life. Exactly, absolutely. So you want to brown your chicken really well. The more color you get on it, the more brown you get on it, the more flavor you're going to get. When it gets black, it starts getting bitter. So keep an eye on it though.
All right.
But you want to get that nice color. Then the next thing you need is an onion. Okay? Oh.
That would have been very cool though.
We do it again.
Let's try it again. Oh!
Third time lucky.
Yeah!
Hey! Okay.
See, that's why you are Chef Clem.
Thank you. Okay. The papery bits on the end of the onion, don't throw it away. There's actually flavor in there, and the other thing, there's color in there.
Are you serious? This stuff reminds you of like paper.
No, it's like in restaurants we were taught with the onion, when you're doing stocks, never throw the papery bits away. There's so much color and flavor in there. You're not going to eat it, but it adds to the stock. So all you're doing now is you're going to chunk it up nice. You can just do it into quarters, depending on the size of the onion.
Yeah.
But keep it nice and chunky. Okay. That's going to go in with your chicken. And then, also, let me talk about this. The chicken's been browning for quite a bit, and at the bottom of the pot, like these brown little sticky bits.
Yes.
You want that.
Keep that.
Normally with normal cooking, you try and not let things stick. You actually want that with this.
Okay.
There's so much concentration of flavor in there. It's called the fond.
So this is all about flavor saving.
Absolutely.
Every little bit that you get, the byproducts of the cook, you want to keep it in there, right?
You want that. Okay.
Got you.
Celery goes in, carrots go in. Then, my rule, all bay, all day.
All bay, all day.
If there's onions in a pot, you add your bay leaves.
Okay.
All right?
What is that to balance it out, I would imagine? Oh.
Funny story. I've been doing some research on bay leaves. Apparently it doesn't give it any flavor or aroma, but it adds to the body of your stew, your soups, your curries, and helps break down the fats in a different way. So we're going to do an experiment.
These bay leaves.
Yeah, and then someone also told me on social media, if you make bay leaf tea in hot water, apparently it's like so good for you. So I'm going to do more research on that. But
I'm going to steal some of those leaves for later on the show. But before we do, let's carry on with this gravy, guys. All of you that are watching at home, of course, head over to taste.co.za, and this is where you'll get all that recipe inspiration. We're starting from scratch. We're doing it the real McCoy way. And for the rest of Mzansi, you want to do the same thing and impress your relatives over the festive season, then you want to be watching Clem and I. What's happening now? Looks like something's about to go down.
Baileys are in, rosemary's in, thyme is in. We're going in with a little bit of wine.
Okay.
Okay. And what you want to do is very important. You want to cook that wine out. Wine has a bitter flavor to it. The alcohol has a bitter flavor to it. If you want to cook it, if you don't cook it out, the bitterness is going to carry through to the stock. So cook it out, and by cooking it out, I mean let it reduce in the pot. Okay. So that's going to go until I've added about half a cup in there. You want it to reduce to a quarter of a cup.
Quick question, Clem, when it comes to reducing, right, which is obviously getting rid of the volume of liquid, I would imagine,
and intensifying the flavor,
Well, how do you actually do that correctly? Is it low and slow, or is it very high and keep it on a boil?
In this case, I'm going on a medium heat. When you're doing something, when you've got a complete sauce and your sauce is done and it's too thin and you want to reduce it, I would put it on a low heat, let it slowly cook. But at this stage, we're still building flavor. Medium to high heat is okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
I got you.
All right. So I'm going to turn this heat up over here. So imagine how it's, actually I was reduced by almost half already. That was very quick. My pan was very hot. And we're going to go with chicken stock, okay?
So is it apple juice?
This is, the chicken stock goes in. What's going to happen now is now it's going to reduce even further.
Okay.
And the more it reduces, more intensifies in flavor. So, also very important, I added thyme to that. Be careful when you add too much thyme to your stock, because thyme actually adds a bit of sweetness to it, and it might actually become too floral and too sweet.
Wow. Okay.
So take it easy then. So, okay, we reduced that, and what we ended up with was this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to thicken this. I'm actually happy with, like, this concentrated flavor is so amazing when you're doing soups, stews, curries, whatever. All those sauce-based dishes, this will just bump it up like 100 levels.
So it's like a go-to for more than one meal. I love this.
Absolutely. So butter's in there. We're going to thicken this. A little bit of flour goes in. We're making a roux.
A roux?
Yeah. So what a roux is, it's just a mixture of flour and fat. We're using butter today. What that's going to do is it's going to add creaminess, richness, and it's going to thicken our stock. That's going to form our gravy.
So do you combine this with the stock now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm grating it.
What you do want to do is you want it to start bubbling. And if you can actually wait to the point where it starts smelling nutty, you'll smell it before you see it. Once that happens, you know that flouriness has been cooked out, and you can start slowly adding your stock.
Oh, so this stock, is this also what's been added with the raw ingredients here as well? Is this what you've made from scratch, or is this the chicken stock you know?
This concentrated, cooked down, was this.
Okay. So this is like gravy that went to private school.
It's so good, it's so delicious, and this is the proper way to make it. What you do want to do is you want to taste it before you add seasoning. I know it needs a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Then, if it tastes like it doesn't have enough flavor, that punch that comes through.
So it's like too bland or...
Worcester sauce.
Okay.
Old school.
It's a Worcester sauce.
And it works every time. If you don't know Worcester sauce, use soy sauce. It adds a nice rich color to it. It darkens it slightly, and it adds that extra saltiness to it. This is the done version of that gravy.
So we had step 1, step 2, and this is the final product.
It doesn't take that long, but what I like about this is you can make it 4 days in advance. Up to a week actually, and then just reheat it when you're ready.
Oh, so you don't have to make it on the day and like...
No, it'll save you so
add
much,
it to the stress of the prep for the festival.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, if you don't want to go through the process of making this, just get the bag version from Woolies. And it's delicious.
Okay.
It's so good, and it's made with the same recipe that we just did right now. That's what's in the bag.
So
sorted.
There's a little bit of Chef Clem in that bag.
There's a little bit of Chef Clem.
Mixed up with the finest ingredients.
Absolutely.
So everything we just went through right now, I wouldn't have to worry about.
No. You can just call me and I'll just make it for you.
Oh, nice.
Right.
That sounds like my kind of gravy.
2 more things. Okay, we've got the cranberry and I think this is the brandy cranberry and brandy glaze.
Okay.
And then we've got the berry and port. Those are delicious on red meats, on ducks, on a very good roasted chicken, but also things like pancakes over ice cream.
Okay.
So those are really, really delicious. Okay. I'm going to just pour this over here. Like again, if you overcooked your chicken, it's a bit dry. This is how you're going to save it.
Come through with that gravy.
Just your beautiful gravy over that chicken, and everybody's going to be happy. It's so good.
Well done, man. That looks absolutely incredible. Guys, of course, you saw it your first taste.co.za to get this recipe inspiration, and of course, get the gravy that you need for this festive season.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Hopefully you are feeling that Christmas vibe this morning. We asked you a little bit earlier on the show how you're getting into the Christmas mood. What is on your Christmas playlist? And you have weighed in. Thank you. You have made us smile this morning.
Definitely. Matthew Bartlett says, good morning, Expresso Morning Show. My favorite Christmas song is Oh Holy Night by Mariah Carey. She's simply the best and the most talented singer of all time. I hear you, Matthew. I hear you.
She's the Christmas queen.
She's the gal that she thinks she is. And then Julia Mitchell says, Last Christmas.
Last Christmas,
I gave you my heart.
Then Roxy May is coming in. Good morning, Expresso Show. My favorite Christmas song is Away in a Manger. I sing it to my 2-year-old every night before bed. That's so sweet. Oh, this is a good one. Cicelo saying Luther Vandross, Every Year, Every Christmas.
I don't know that one.
No, neither do I.
No. But the last one is from Vida Meyer saying Jungle Bells. I don't know that version. Maybe you know Vida Meyer. Let us know.
Sing it for us, post a video. We'd love to hear from you. Keep those suggestions coming right now, though. Time to get back into the news headlines.
Jungle Bells.
Jungle Bells.
Thank you, Graham. Well, let's jump into your national news. South Africans have been urged to be more vigilant while doing their shopping online this festive season. Now, the consumer credit reporting agency TransUnion says cases related to holiday season online shopping fraud in South Africa have shown a sharp increase of 6.5% compared to the same time last year. Some 41% of the 1,100 South African consumers surveyed said they have been targeted by digital fraudsters. Now, experts say the spike in online fraud can be attributed to more people shopping online because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the government has launched a 1 billion rand presidential employment stimulus for subsistence producers. Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development Minister Toko Didiza yesterday said more than 75,000 people, mainly women, whose production was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic would benefit from the program. Each participant would receive between 1,000 rand and 9,000 rand, while others would receive farming input vouchers to retain self-employment in the sector and to support food value chains. And Amnesty International has called on lawmakers from the Southern African Development Community to strengthen laws to protect human rights amid growing threats in the region. Major threats threatening stability in the region include violations linked to Mozambique's conflict and a clampdown on the rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly due to COVID-19. The session was attended by members of the SADC Parliamentary Forum Standing Committee on Democratization, Governance and Human Rights, and stakeholders drawn from state and non-state human rights actors, as well as civil society, media and technical partners in SADC. And Japan's Prime Minister plans to allocate some $19 million within the next 12 months to boost artificial intelligence to assist and match lonely hearts. This as Japan seeks to boost its flagging birth rate and rapidly aging inhabitants. Although it won't conjure ideas of romance, AI tech can match a wider and smarter variety of potential suitors, they believe. Now, officials are especially planning to offer subsidies to local governments operating or starting up matchmaking projects that use artificial intelligence. And now some great news from the world of entertainment. Our very own Master KG has bagged yet another one, continuing his global domination by adding another award to his name. The South African superstar beat Nicki Minaj, Jason Derulo and Dua Lipa to bring home the Song of the Year award at the annual NRJ Music Awards in France. The awards are presented by the French radio station to honor musicians across the globe. An elated Master KG tweeted saying, "I keep watching these nominees again and again because I can't believe it." This award follows multiple wins from all over the globe in the past couple of weeks for Master KG, and his hit Jerusalema, which features vocalist Nomcebo Zikode, last week also made it onto American rapper and business mogul Jay-Z's Tidal 2020 playlist. This comes just after the musician received the news that he had managed to reel in 143 million Spotify streams and 80 18.5 million listeners in 92 countries. The Jerusalema YouTube video has more than 260 million views, and people across the globe have taken part in the Jerusalema Dance Challenge. Well, on that very happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines, and congratulations to Master KG. Here is a final look at your sport.
Thanks so much. So let's kick it off with the bad news first concerning cricket. England's tour of South Africa has been abandoned now due to a number of positive COVID-19 cases. Cricket South Africa and the England and Wales Cricket Board made the announcement in a joint statement yesterday. It added that the tour was called off to ensure the mental and physical health and welfare of all of the players. The Cricket Board said that they will look to reschedule the one-day international matches, which form part of the ICC Super League. Then on to our Olympics watch. The International Olympic Committee yesterday confirmed that breakdancing has officially been confirmed as part of the final lineup for the 2024 Olympics taking place in Paris. It'll be referred to as breaking at the global showpiece. Skateboarding, sport climbing and surfing are a few of the other new sports included in the delayed 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Then on to boxing news that might shock some boxing fans. The 5-weight division world champion, one of the GOATs, undoubtedly, Floyd Mayweather, will return to the boxing ring for another exhibition bout, this time against YouTube sensation Logan Paul. The 43-year-old Mayweather last fought professionally back in August of 2017 when he beat mixed martial arts champion Conor McGregor. The fight between Mayweather and Paul, which undoubtedly will be a serious payday for both, will take place in February next year. That's a wrap of your sport for this Tuesday morning. Let's take one last look at the weather and be inspired by some of your beautiful sunrise vistas.
Well, let's jump straight into it. Tandeka Mgoza shared the sunrise picture from Mpendle. Now, your minimum for today, it is 12 degrees and your maximum 26 degrees. And then we got a picture from Natasha Smith, who captured this one in the Tankwa National Park. For today, a low of 11 can be expected and a high of 31. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for sharing your gorgeous sunrise photos. But please continue to do so and share it with us on social media, and we can share it with you on your Feel Good Breakfast show. On a more serious note, disaster management teams in KwaZulu-Natal were yesterday placed on high alert, and this is due to severe weather conditions experienced in the province. The South African Weather Service has since also issued a yellow level 2 warnings for severe thunderstorms over the eastern interior of the Northern Cape, the Free State, the western parts of KZN and the interior of the Eastern Cape. These thunderstorms are accompanied by strong winds, hail and heavy downpours, and the warning spells that out very clearly that please do not seek any shelter under a tree, under a telephone or power lines, and avoid the outdoor activities as much as possible, as hail, strong winds and flooding may result in injuries. Avoid also low-lying roads and bridges as they are susceptible to flooding. And if at all possible, please remain indoors and away from the windows, shelter your pets and cover your vehicles and disconnect electrical appliances. That's electrical appliances. And on that note, let's quickly look at your temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, your low for today is 18, your high 24. Mbombela 17, reaching a high of 27. Partly cloudy conditions in Pretoria, 17 with a high of 25. Johannesburg 15 with a high of 23. Partly cloudy in Mahikeng with a high of 27. Klerksdorp 17, reaching a high of 28. Kimberley 17 with a high of 25. And thunder showers can be expected in Bloemfontein with a high of 23. Richards Bay, partly cloudy with a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg 19 with a high of 32. If you're in Durban, partly cloudy conditions with a low of 21, a high of 28. Mthatha 17, reaching a high of 32. East London 19 with a high of 28. Thunder showers in Cradock with a low of 16, a high of 30. Wet conditions in Port Elizabeth, 18's your low, 25 your high. George 17, reaching a high of 25. Cape Town 16 with a high of 24. Partly cloudy conditions in Worcester with a high of 32 for today. If you're in Sutherland, your low is 9 and high 28. And Uppington, expect a low of 19 and a high of 33 degrees Celsius. And that's where I leave your morning weather on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Well, the Feel Good continues here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, because for the second year running, the global advocacy and change-making organization Global Citizen is honoring those who are making extraordinary efforts for the world's most vulnerable. Now, the category of country hero is presented in 6 countries, one of them being South Africa. And this morning, we are proud to introduce the agency receiving this award. Now, joining us now via video call to celebrate this achievement is Director of the WISE Collective, Onika Makwakwa, and the Regional Director for Global Citizen, Chibet Chikumbu. Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Morning. Now, Chibet, I've got to ask you first, choosing the recipients of these honors must be no easy feat at all. So how have the winners come across the categories, and how have they been selected as well?
So awardees are chosen in 2 ways. One is through a judging committee, and this applied for a couple of our award categories, specifically the Global Citizen of the Year, World Leader, Artist of the Year, Business Leader of the Year, the Country Hero, and our Cisco Youth Leadership Awards, which were voted on by a committee of relevant judges based on criteria-based evaluations created by an independent group of researchers. The Cisco Youth Leadership Award allocates 1 judging seat to a public vote. And then the second means by which awardees were chosen was through Global Citizens themselves. So this applied for prizes for culture and education, activism and philanthropy, and they were selected by Global Citizen and a team of advisors. And we're very excited to be joined by Onika from the WISE Collective, because we are really here to celebrate leaders like the WISE Collective who are taking action and who are leading with compassion, with care, with innovation, and a dedication to uplift the world's most vulnerable people, particularly in the issue area of achieving gender equality and gender empowerment that WISE Collective are championing. So that's very exciting, particularly if we think about it through the context of 16 days of activism that we're currently in.
Before we get into the conversation with Onika, Chibet, I want to bring it back to you. What is the criteria in order to be recognized in the Country Hero Award?
So it's equally weighted across 4 specific criteria. 1 being impact. We're looking for a leader who's demonstrated a track record of measurable impact over the last year in advancing 1 or more of the global goals. Secondly, we're looking at vision, so compelling vision and concrete plans for how this work will be extended onto the next 1 to 3 years, because sustainability and scalability is an important aspect of what we look at. And the third one is an organization or an individual that is a catalyst, inspiring others to have an impact on achieving 1 or more of the global goals. And lastly, global citizenship. So while we are focused on a local hero, we are certainly looking for a leader that is demonstrating the values and embodies the spirit of a global citizen and a global problem solver. And that is really what we found through the WISE Collective. All 4 criteria really exceeded, when we looked at it with our esteemed panel of judges.
Oh, wow, it sounds so exciting. Right now, Onika, while we still have you on the line, I've got to ask you to tell us more about the WISE Collective, of course, and the important work being done in the space of gender-based violence.
Wow, certainly. Thank you very much for having me here this morning. So the WISE Collective really came out of an appreciation of the tremendous amount of work that other organizations in this country had done on the issues around empowerment of women. However, we felt that we needed to come into the space focusing on shifting that power in a way that gives us the impact that, an empowered group of women should be able to have. And so we focus on gender equality, unapologetically from a very feminist perspective of really wanting to disrupt the status quo and begin to feel the kind of changes that we say we want when we advocate for gender equality. And gender-based violence has been one of those areas in this country that has really held women's back for the most part. And so we wanted to focus on solutions that had been discussed a lot prior to us coming into the space, but wanted to begin to really push to see the implementation. And we do that in several ways. And one of the ways that we've really been doing it is through access to justice and actually hiring young feminist lawyers to be present to support women and joining, filing watching briefs on the many cases that we've all heard about on gender-based violence, including femicide, to really make it clear even to the state that we are here to support women. We are watching the process, and we expect that our government will give women their full constitutional access to safety, including, making sure that prosecutions are seen to their fullest, as well as beginning to really change the narrative, because we know that a big part of this gender-based violence, a lot of the work has to happen in the prevention. We care more about women before they are abused and would rather not have to deal with them after they've been abused. However, we do because that's what's happening right now. But I think that in all that we do, we keep prevention as a big part of it, that we want a safe South Africa for all who live in it, and especially women.
And I think now more than ever, this is such an important discussion to have. But ladies, thank you so much. We can go on and on about this. But again, congratulations to you, Onika, and also to you, Chebet, for this platform and giving women and also people like Onika this platform to use their voices against such important topics. But thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. Yes.
It's a beautiful one. Now, be witness to all the remarkable people who are being awarded at the 2020 Global Citizen Prize Show. And you can catch it right here on SABC3 on Sunday, the 20th of December, and that's from 9:30 p.m. We'll see you there.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Make you a believer. So baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it
Here's to you, can't work from home workers. Bo Terminator. Cause every meeting key, I'll be back. The mask forgetting shoppers. Hi. And you, who go the extra mile instead of keeping just 1.5 meters. To you who opened your doors again, we take our hats off. Nina, who kept us moving, 100%. And of course, the no Mayini general dealers. You might not be essential workers, Mara, you too played an essential role in keeping Mzansi working. And that's why we're giving you a chance to win your share of 5 million rand. Join Nedbank today.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's the Locked In. It's your feel-good breakfast show. And now when it comes to legendary side dishes at the festive table, the humble roast potato is second to none. Now add in some fresh rosemary and garlic and serve it with a creamy horseradish sauce, and you have your new star of the dish. And we're talking about Be-Well rosemary roast baby potatoes with horseradish cream. It's a crispy, zesty, creamy and fresh meal, and this is the perfect way to reinvent the wheel and show off your inner chef. And showing off your inner chef this morning is, of course, Zoe Brown in the building, taking us through this quite a complex meal by the sounds of it.
It looks complex, but this is what's going to take that lovely roast potato on the table just to that next level. So it's easy for you to impress the family if you're going to be around the table.
I hope so. I want my family to have these roast potatoes and be like, you did something special here.
Well,
I want that little
Yes, you'll definitely get that with this one. So what we've done is we've parboiled our baby potatoes, and you cut them a little cross in them. And what's nice about doing that is it will allow your potatoes to get nice and crispy. So you're simply just going to squeeze it open. It can be a bit messy, but that's fine because those are the pieces that will be, I did sanitize my hands, be getting nice and crispy. So you simply just pop it in here, and we're going to drizzle some of our Be-Well canola oil, which is locally produced, over our potatoes that are already opened up.
So I'm assuming now opening up the potatoes allows this flavor and the Be-Well oil and all the goodness to kind of soak in, right?
Plus, yes, so you're just coating it like that a little bit. I might have added a bit too much, but now we're going to add our rosemary because that's going to give us our flavor, and it always comes out nice once you pop it in the oven. I love a lot of salt on my potatoes, so I'm going
with
to
you on that,
salt
so go
them
wild.
generously. Of course, you can add a little bit less, and then some garlic. And what's wonderful about this Be-Well canola oil, I'm actually just going to add the little pieces quite whole because they'll give off color. Have you ever popped garlic cloves into the oven?
I have actually, but I don't smell the garlic as intensely as I normally do.
It loses a bit of its flavor, but it's got such a nice, soft texture, and it just adds that right punch to something. So it really is like a nice little pop of surprise.
So we're going to get a couple of those surprises.
We will definitely. So
Nice.
we're going to pop this into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, but I suppose you can also just monitor it until it's nice and crispy and golden brown.
Okay.
There we go.
So the roast potatoes, I'm assuming, tick, but you mentioned something about a horseradish.
The horseradish,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
And what is important about our Be-Well canola oil is that it is low in saturated fat, it's naturally cholesterol free, and of course high in omega-3s, which we want. And we're also going to be using our Be-Well mayonnaise, which is also fantastic. So we're going to start off by making our horseradish sauce. We've got some vegan cream cheese in our bowl. Then we're going to add some orange zest, a little bit of orange juice. Basically just mix it all together. I've got some whole seed mustard grain over
Such an
here.
interesting combo. We're mixing like a citrusy zestiness with what was this? Oh, that we had mustard, right?
Some mustard seeds. So now I'm also adding some lemon zest and some lemon juice.
So this is really like a fresh taste on this creamy sauce. Yeah.
This is some ready-made horseradish sauce that we are adding to this mix. I'm going to ask you to mix it up for me.
I got you. All right.
Because I'm going to add our Be-Well thick and creamy mayonnaise in. So I'm just going to add like a tablespoon.
Go for it. This is really cool though, because you're mentioning we're adding Be-Well to this meal. It gives me that little bit of confidence that I can have an extra plate, and there's a little bit of health associated to it as well, and I can have a guilt-free meal.
Yes.
So for festive time, when it comes to 2, maybe 3 servings, I think it's a really good addition to have as well.
And the thing I've learned over the last time is healthy eating doesn't have to be dull and flavorless food. You just have to make healthier choices when it comes to picking your ingredients and obviously making things from scratch, because then you know what is going into your meal.
Exactly that.
And then we're going to top it off with some parsley. You can actually mix that in for me. I was supposed to add it earlier. There we go. And you see, so once you have your roasted potatoes, your horseradish sauce, it is nice and creamy, and you are left with this. Do you want to taste one?
I would love to taste one, especially if you
It's a
made
bit
it.
hot, so you'll have to come here.
All right, I'm on there. I like the fact that already, just from this alone, I can smell that I could use this for more than just a potato. I mean, even on some weird chickens or any other meats as well, I would probably even add this.
It's a winning sauce.
Proof is in the pudding. Let me see if I can grab a spoon.
So we've got some drizzled on it already, but
Let me just put a little.
you want to put a little bit extra.
You know, why
some
not?
crispy potatoes for
Is the
breakfast.
festive? Oh, they look good.
Take a
Feels
small
good.
TV bite.
Damn it.
That's the secret. Might be hot. See, that's what you want your guests to do.
This is that reaction I want from my guests. This is the hot sensation that I want from my festive meal. And speaking of hot, we've got a hot, epic new album coming out soon. And of course, not an album actually, it's a song. And Jessie Clegg's visiting us this morning. Wow.
Are you ready for that performance? Is that what you're saying?
After this, I'm ready because if anything, this is beautiful and I'm ready for that.
If you do want this recipe that we've just made, it is available on our website. That's expressoshow.com.
Be well, love, food, life.
Well, we've made him do everything other than sing this morning. He's cooked with us, he's made tea, he's made coffee. Now we're going to let him do what he does best. Taking to the floor is platinum-selling artist Jessie Clegg with his hit song, Let It Burn. This catchy, upbeat pop-inspired song is one of Jessie's top charting songs here in South Africa, undoubtedly, and features an all-star cast in the music video if you want to go and do a little search. The song is a product of his time spent, as he said, in Los Angeles, in America, writing and recording with some unbelievably talented musicians and producers, and we are so blessed to have him perform it right here. We are very excited for this one. It's Jessie Clegg with Let It Burn.
What's holding you back lately? There's one place left, we can take this. We've got time to break the rules, time to play the fool all our lives. Petrified, trying to play it cool, can't deny it. We were sipping on this love like free tequila. We were dancing when this world was standing still. And you said this fire made you a believer. So baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it need stitches, but you're putting up walls instead of bridges. We've got time to break the rules, time to play the fool all our lives. Petrified, trying to play it cool, can't deny it. We were sipping on this love like free tequila. We were dancing when this world was standing still. And you said this fire made you a believer. So baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it I'm calling. Forget what your friends say, I'm all in. They say it every day, this ain't nothing. And this happened like an explosion. Head fell straight into the ocean. Hate to admit that I'm falling. We were sipping on this love like free tequila. We were dancing when this world was standing still. And you said this fire made you a believer. So baby, if you love it, let it burn. Let it burn. Burn. Let it burn. Burn. Baby, if you love it, let it burn.
Yes, man. That's some like number plate rattling bass in that guy, hey?
Indeed.
You know, absolutely beautiful. Can understand why it was such a big hit. He's got another performance coming your way a little bit later. I think Speed of Light hopefully is going to make its debut here on the show, so stick around for that. We are talking skin cancer awareness in just a moment. Don't stray too far.
Crossing Blackwell.
Snap, black cat peanut butter.
Cool chagalaka.
And the twist challenge.
Buy any 4 participating products and stand a chance to win 10,000 Rand daily. Add a twist to everyday meals.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Tuesday and we're discussing some very important health matters. And for many people, summer is considered the best season. I am one of them. With sunny skies and warm temperatures, perfect for outdoor adventures, such as going to the beach. But spending too much time in the sun is also not good for you. And because sunburn, it is a very common and can also increase your risk of skin cancer. Skin cancer is one of the most common cancers in the world, but fortunately for us, it can also be prevented. And here to tell us more about how to take care of ourselves, this summer we welcome dermatologist, specialist also, Dr. Sarita Kannenberg. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a very interesting topic.
Yes, because it is summer and many of us spending a lot of time at the beach over here. But let's start right at the beginning. What is skin cancer and how does it develop?
So skin cancer is when the cells in the skin escape the usual controlled mechanism, the controlling mechanisms, and then the cells proliferate and they become more and more and more instead of being controlled in the usual way. How does it happen? There's always a genetic background. Some people are more prone to it than others. So we just discussed it with the red hair and the milky white skin and a lot of freckles. Those are the very high risk cases. And also people who have a whole lot of moles, they do tend to be a higher risk. But remember that saying that, a darker skin does not protect you against it. You can still develop it. And then, of course, sometimes people are on immunosuppressive medications, and those, so maybe after an organ transplant, for example, they are more prone to develop it. And then there's the big one, which we're obviously also discussing today very in depth, is the environmental triggers. So sun in particular. But remember, the ultraviolet exposure that we get is not only from the sun, because the other main culprit will be sunbeds, unfortunately. And that you can get throughout the year, of course. It's not just in summer that you would be exposed to that. In fact, it's probably more in winter that you'd be getting the sunbed exposure.
So I went to the beach over the weekend because there were pockets of like hot moments throughout the weekend, and I was so fascinated at the people sunbathing and pretty much putting oil all over their body and staying in the sun for hours at a time. From a specialist perspective, how much sun should we really be getting on a day-to-day basis, and who would be more prone to developing skin cancer?
So the high-risk cases would be the genetic predisposition. Those who've had skin cancer before, they will also obviously be very high risks. And those with a family history of skin cancers, those are the ones that we want to be very, very careful about. But, and also our children, we mustn't forget our children, hey? Because the majority of our sun damage actually occurs before the age of 18.
Sure.
So how much sun should you be getting? That's very difficult to say, because middle of winter, the sun is very different from middle of summer. And then also summer here is very different to summer in Joburg, for example, you know? So all of that plays a big role. You know, you don't really need a lot of sun exposure. You need a little bit of sun to produce some vitamin D. So yes, but you know, you only need about 10 to 15 minutes. And if you really think about it, our exposure between buildings, for example, or going out to if you still have a post box, I don't know, or maybe if you hang your washing, I don't know, you know, that's enough sun exposure to produce vitamin D.
If you can stay away, you recommend.
You don't. I know it's nice, you know, it feels nice. It's really boring, you know, and many people aren't going to want to hear this, and, you know, I'm going to be a wet blanket and all of that. But, you know, if I hear about people burning red, such as yourself the other day, I get a little bit of a chest tightness, because I know what can happen, you know. And you only need about 3 of those exposures, these where you burn, you know, where you look like a lobster type of thing. You only need 3 of those, and that skyrockets your chances of developing skin cancer.
Doctor, tell us a bit more about the primary types of skin cancer.
So we really divide them into the 2 main groups. We have melanoma, which is of course the deadly one, and wait for weight, the most dangerous skin cancer, or the most dangerous cancer that we actually get. And then we have the non-melanoma skin cancer group, which is the biggest group. And in that group, we will have various forms. So basal cell carcinoma is the commonest skin cancer that we get, and then squamous cell carcinoma, also very common, less common than basal cell carcinoma, a little bit more dangerous than basal cell carcinoma. And then we have a whole lot of other ones like Merkel cell carcinoma and various much rarer ones. But if we look at the cancer registry between 1993 and 2014, we see that 27% of the cancers that were actually registered at that time, was skin cancers, non-melanoma skin cancers.
Sure.
So it's very, very common.
Okay, it's very. Well, I feel like having this chat, it's very important, but it's also kind of scaring me now. How can we protect ourselves? Because one of the things that they say is skin cancer can be prevented, or there are preventative measures that we are able to take.
Yes. Now, we have to, for you ladies now, for example, sunscreen certainly at your age, you know, your sunscreen certainly is very important. It's never too late to start preventing skin cancer either. So don't think it's too late for, not for you ladies, you're very young, but I mean, if you're, some of our viewers maybe, if it's never too late to start preventing skin cancer. So you always have sunscreen on the one hand, which is a wonderful tool, but only if used properly. So we get a lot of sunscreen failure, unfortunately, because we don't apply it the way it was developed to be applied. I mean, if we look at the way when it's tested, if we look at that, then it really needs to be reapplied every 2 hours. It needs to be reapplied after swimming. It needs to be reapplied after sweating, even after wiping yourself down, with a towel, for example, from sweating. It needs to be reapplied. And if it's not reapplied, in a proper amount, proper dosages. So, I mean, if we look at our faces, we're supposed to be using a teaspoon. And I have to say that it's probably very rare that someone actually does that, to be honest.
Well, listen,
these things aren't free, so, you know. So the other things, I'm sorry I interrupted you. The other things are that, probably more important than that, to be really honest, is covering up. Covering up and staying out of the sun. So those are the most important things. And I know that's boring stuff to say, but staying out of the sun between 10 and 4, and these are empirical numbers because once again, 10 to 4 in wintertime is not the same as 10 to 4 in the middle of summer. I mean, you guys know that, it can be really hot on a Cape Town morning at 9.
Yeah.
So, and then covering up with hats, for example, and thickly woven clothes as well.
And the umbrellas, definitely a message of caution for all of us that will be spending time in summer. But we're going to unpack more of this conversation in a bit. We will be continuing our very important health discussion on skin cancer with specialist dermatologist Dr. Sarita Kannenberg, who will be joined by a representative from Cancer after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and you're just in time as we continue our health discussion on skin cancer this morning. We are joined by specialist dermatologist Dr. Sarita Kannenberg, and she is with us now with the Cancer Association of South Africa, TLC. We have coordinator Anthea Lynn Lewis joining us too for this part of the conversation. Good morning.
Morning. Anthea, I'll start with you. How common is skin cancer in South Africa?
As you know, it's one of the most common cancers worldwide. Here in South Africa, it's not as prevalent, but it does occur.
I think for a lot of people that have been diagnosed with skin cancer, a big question is, where do I go? What do I start? What do I do now? What would you recommend?
We've got the photo finder, which is not a diagnostic tool, but once you've got a mole and you've been for a photo finder, or if the mole is suddenly growing or the border changes or there's a color change, then it's the best to go to a dermatologist who will then advise you on what is happening with your skin.
And what are some of the treatment options available if you do find something, or if you do feel like you are of high risk for skin cancer?
So if you are just, obviously you would want to go to a specialist, so such as a dermatologist, and then the doctor will obviously examine all your whole skin. If there is something that they are concerned about, then in the majority of cases it would be surgery. If we are talking about things like squamous cell carcinoma, sometimes basal cell carcinomas, we can do cryosurgery, so that's when we freeze it with liquid nitrogen. And then obviously you would want to catch these things earlier rather than later, because if it's spread throughout your body, for example, which thankfully doesn't happen all that often with non-melanoma skin cancers unless it's neglected, then we would look at things like radiation, chemotherapy, those type of things are also. So there are treatments for it, but you really want to catch it quick. You want to catch it early. If we're looking at melanoma, then you really want to catch it early, because unfortunately the best treatment for that is still only palliative. It's not curative at this stage.
Zoe, when it comes to early detection, because I know we always look at our moles and we kind of check out what we have, how do we know, and what should we be looking out for with regards to skin cancer, and just again with our beauty spots, and how do we know if those beauty spots are in fact moles or not cancerous or cancerous?
Yes. So if we look at moles, then we're going to look at the ABCDE criteria, which is what my friend here referred to. So A would be asymmetry, so that's from side to side, top to bottom, for example. If the lesion is asymmetrical, then the border, I like to say that it grows little fingers out. Then you really have to be concerned. Color changes, yes, or various colors. So especially if there are things like blue or grey, black, red, those are the type of things that you really want to have checked out. D diameter, so bigger or larger than 6 millimeters, although that's not, because you do, not that important, because you do get small melanomas and then you get large moles, of course. But E, evolution is the most important thing to look out for. So is it bleeding? Is it itchy? Or any type of changes, and if you are concerned about it, I strongly believe in the sixth sense as well. So if you feel that there's something wrong with it, then have it checked out. But then, of course, the non-melanoma skin cancers, we are looking at non-healing ulcers, so small little wounds that doesn't want to heal, especially in sun-exposed sites, then have it checked out.
So rather be safe than sorry, so get to the dermatologist. I know earlier we spoke about SPF in terms of applying sunblock correctly. For the South African sun, for the African sun, what would you recommend to be the right SPF?
I think for your fairer and lighter skin, we are looking at an SPF 50, and that gives you 4 hours and 10 minutes of protection. And the important part is, if you apply sunscreen at 8 o'clock, before 12, you need to reapply. And then when we move down and we go to our lighter skin, we're looking at an SPF 20. And how do you work out SPF? You take the 20, multiply by 5, which gives you 100. There's 60 minutes in an hour. You divide it in that. So an SPF 20 will give you an hour and 40 minutes protection whilst in the sun.
Okay. But can I add something to that? I'm sorry to interrupt. I also just want to add that, remember, I was saying that we don't apply enough.
Yeah.
So really, if we're looking at that, then if you're applying a 50, you're only getting about 25 on your skin. The way we apply it.
Okay.
So it is very important to reapply. So the higher SPF you can use, the better.
And I also know sunblock expires. I realized that this weekend when my sunblock didn't work properly, so I had to check it out. So just also check the expiration date.
If you do have any concerns, where can you get tested? Is there a local place that you can get tested for skin cancer or get screened?
Yes, you can come to our cancer offices. December and January is known as SunSmart. So we have the photo finder available. You can phone our office, make an appointment, and come and have any moles or any blemishes on your skin that is worrying you. You can have it looked at. And if there's anything to worry about, it will be referred to a doctor.
Excellent. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This was really a necessary conversation, and I hope you at home took something from this. I'd like to just give another special thanks to specialist dermatologist Dr. Sarita Kannenberg and cancer representative Anthea Lynn Lewis for sharing their knowledge on skin cancer with us this morning. And the Cancer Association of South Africa urges all individuals to be proactive about protecting their skin, especially during this time as we head into summer. Make sure to minimize your time spent in direct sunlight and always wear sunscreen.
Join us on the Insider SA tonight at 7:30 on SABC3 as home superstar Dlada Umshungwisi invites us into his Durban home. Hitmaker Lady Zamar refreshes her creativity at the pristine De Hoop Nature Reserve. And Mrs. SA Jacqueline Ferns and her husband Lyndon Ferns enjoy a retreat near Theawaterskloof Kloof Dam. That's the Insider SA tonight at 7:30 only on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Are you smooth or not smooth? Buy Tropica. Flip the cap. If you find smooth, you stand a chance to win smooth prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
Yeah, man, you're still locked in. It's your feel-good breakfast show. And of course, it's your last chance this week to find smooth, because this week, Friday, you could be flipping our smooth or not smooth cap wall, which you bought for the Tropica and entered the competition. Now, that's right, of course. You could be calling two, yes, that's right, two of you at home to flip till one of you finds smooth under the cap to stand a chance to win the weekly prizes. And of course, this week's prize is a Mango return flight all the way from Cape Town, Joburg, or Durban of your choice. And I know it sounds absolutely great. I think if I won that flight, I would use it to fly to Durbs for a festive beach holiday. And I will definitely remember to bring along my sunblock for sure. So go on, of course, and make your December smoother and enter today. And speaking of smooth, why not pay attention to the smooth lyrics coming at you right now?
Are you smooth or not smooth? Buy any Tropica promotional pack, flip the cap, and if you find smooth, follow the details on the pack to stand a chance of winning smooth instant prizes with Tropica, such as headphones, mobile phones, travel start vouchers, police watches, sunglasses, and more. Plus, stand a chance of going into the draw to win weekly grand prizes live on Expresso every Friday by flipping a cap. TVs, washing machines, and microwaves up for grabs. The more Tropica you buy and find smooth, the more chances to win. Go on and find your smooth. Tropica, nothing smoother.
Now, hopefully, Jesse Clegg understands just how much we absolutely love him on the show, and you can see him perform live as part of his Speed of Light tour. Go to jesseclegg.com to get all of the details and make your bookings, and I suggest you get on it now. From performing one chart-topping hit, Let It Burn, to another that is quickly making its way to the top of the charts within a week of being released. And of course, the music video has just been shot down here in Cape Town. Jesse Clegg's latest single, Speed of Light, charted on radio stations across the country. It's going to be a hit. The upbeat pop-inspired track talks about dealing with regrets and disappointments and rediscovering your passion and sense of connection. Don't we need that in 2020? Here he is with Speed of Light.
I defied the gods, played against the odds, built a house of cards with no ceilings. Falls down and then start over again, try to make a life worth leading. I've lived this night 100 times. If this tunnel ends, show me the light. Where's the light? Wait a minute, if I blink I'll miss it. You're the dream I'm wishing would come true. My heart's racing like a car chase. Basically I'm starstruck when I look at you, and I feel love again. And you came at the speed of light. I feel love again. Suddenly you're here and I don't know where you've been, but you came at the speed of light, and I feel love again. Love again. Now I feel a touch, but my mind just rushes to the times that I've been broken, and the emptiness is the consequence of a heart that I can't open. It's been so long since I believed anyone would face the dark with me. Dark with me. Live this night 100 times. If this tunnel ends, show me the light. Where's the light? Wait a minute, if I blink I'll miss it. You're the dream I'm wishing would come true. My heart's racing like a car chase. Basically I'm starstruck when I look at you, and I feel love again. And you came at the speed of light. I feel love again. Suddenly you're here and I don't know where you've been, but you came at the speed of light, and I feel love again. Love again. Hey, let's leave tonight. We're flying at the speed of light. Come with me. Let's leave tonight. We're flying at the speed of light. Come with me. Wait a minute, if I blink I'll miss it. You're the dream I'm wishing would come true. My heart's racing like a car chase. Basically I'm starstruck when I look at you, and I feel love again. And you came at the speed of light. I feel love again. Suddenly you're here and I don't know where you've been, but you came at the speed of light, and I feel love again. Love love again.
I feel love again. So good to have Jesse Clegg back in our studio. The Speed of Light tour is happening across the country. Get onto jesseclegg.com to get all of the details. And that song is available for download. And watch the space for the music video as well. What a champion. So good to have him here again, man.
Oh, it's so nice having live music in studio.
Oh, yeah.
I can picture myself just cruising in summer down in Camps Bay on the strip listening to Jesse. I think it could be a vibe, eh?
I always love doing this when my hand goes out the window.
Just like that.
So, with great sadness, we are saying goodbye to our 11:30, our midday broadcast of Expresso as our matric revision wraps up. So we'll see you for Salem Ishmael performing live. But until then, have an amazing morning. Never forget how much we love you. See you later.
Bye.
Clover celebrates spring with exciting giveaways. Look out for selected Clover products in store to stand a chance to win. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Still. Cool. Yeah, Lush, because I've just got those 2 VOs and then akahoy.
Yeah. Adios.
Adios, amigos. Shame, I wasn't supposed to be on today, but it was just...
I thought you were...
Yeah, because this one wasn't feeling well, so I said to Lena, if you need me to be on standby, and she's like, please come in.
Because I sent him after, like, I just slept for about an hour. Bro, that's going to be a banger. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Good luck with the tour, man. I hope this...
Thank you, man.
So good to see you. That is an awesome
I'll see you
song.
at KFM soon.
Please come visit when we wish we can have visitors. They're so strict there.
That you can, that's got layers. That's lovely. It's a really good track, man. Really, really cool.
I'm going to be cruising with this by my window.
I love you, dude. Go well.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
And thanks for cooking.
Howie, stay.
Cheers, lad.
Trappe van vergelijking.
Okay, stand here, Jamie Lee, because you are not participating.
I stand.
Are we incorporating the piano?
Yeah, we can. You can actually.
Love song.
Alright, cool. Yeah.
This piano.
I was going to have a side with head.
You guys ready? Alright, cool. And smile.